What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding! Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support. And as you can see, Dubs is getting yelled at on the side right there.
Yeah, he goes. As you can see, Dubs is getting yelled at on the side.
He's getting yelled at. All right, so me and Dubs are back, man. The weekly recap. This is part 2. Make sure you tap into the first part. It was on Dubs' channel. We spoke on some topics that are kind of trending for the week within our genre and within the YouTube realm and world. And we got a few topics we wanted to discuss right here on part 2. And first and foremost, man, we ended that one. Well, first of all, Dubs, what's up?
What's cracking? How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for the support. Let's run these numbers up, man.
Absolutely. So me and Dubs have been doing a lot of collaborations lately. And reason being is it was asked of us to do it. And we felt that for another reason, we've always wanted to bring you guys the best possible content we could. But we stumbled. Well, Dubs stumbled back in the days upon an individual, right? And I had never really heard of this individual or seen him. So we decided to react to some of his older videos, and they took off, man. The Hawk. What's this guy's name, Dubs?
Deleno Ferrero.
Yeah, wait up.
Deleno Ferrero. Oh, shit.
I got to put these on. Wait up.
I don't have mine in the house. Oh,
got to put those on.
Him right there.
The Hawk. You know what I mean? The Hawk. You already know what it is. Orderly.
Orderly.
That guy right there. So for those of you who haven't watched the videos, make sure you tap in with Dub's channel, man. They're probably the most hilarious videos we've done in a very long time. I watch them all the time. Every time I'm feeling down and out, I just laugh at that guy, right?
That's fucked up. Shout out to Deleno.
Shout out to Deleno. We're not trying to bully him or nothing like that. It's just sometimes when you've done time in prison, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dubs, you hear some of these outlandish stories like Wes Watson, this guy, several others, and it's just hard not to just laugh about it, you know, because we're too old to get mad about it. We just laugh about it, you know?
It's more of a reflection on them than us. You know what I mean? That they feel like they have to tell a lie like that.
Yeah. So we conversated about this guy, and I truly believe he's not telling lies. I think he's putting a little tapatio on it, jazzing it up a little bit, but I believe that he wasn't on these yards people are assuming he was on. I think he was on some type of EOP yards or some type of
I agree.
Yards.
Yeah, I don't know if he's lying. He just believes what he's saying. I'll say that.
Yeah, exactly. He's one of those guys that's his truth, and he's going to tell it. And he's going to tell it to the world, right? Just for a little while. He deleted them all. Deleno Ferrero, if you're ever watching this, come back. We need you.
We need you back, man. We need the Breakfast of Champions video again.
I would love to interview him just to pick his mind.
Oh, I wanted to. I reached out to him before he turned and started hating me. I reached out and I was like, hey, Holmes, I'll do something with you, man. Your channel's going to blow up. And then I think people got in his ear like, hey, this Vato's making fun of you. It's a roast reaction. You know, it would have been that Vato would have been making so much money right now.
He would have. Hey, Tom Brady took the roast. That's part of Carillas. We're just fucking with you. We got love for you, man.
Look at how many trolls clown us. I used to see, I don't see any of it no more. I used to laugh.
Yeah.
Some of it is fucking funny. You got to be able to laugh at yourself, eh?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you got to, it's just part of life, you know, when it's not really affecting your daily life and it's not affecting your pockets and it's not paying your bills, then some of the shit's funny. Truly is. So we kind of ran out of material with that guy, but we're reaching out to him. And if he ever wants to come on the channels in the live, he's more than welcomed, more than invited.
I might have one more video. I think I did 3 on him. So I'm going to have to double check.
I hope you do because, man, that shit is funny. So now let's talk about a serious topic. Something that happened in my neck of the woods. Operation Red Rooster, right? And I've always tripped out on these names that they give, that the feds give to these operations. You know, it's funny because I just did a video a while back and I was talking about rooster fights, and mine and my cousin, we pulled up and the Central Valley is known for rooster fighting. You know, I don't say cocking off because that's what Deleno Ferrero says. He does the cocking off at the cockfights, right? I just
in prison.
Yeah, in prison they're cocking off. But this happened. This was a serious thing, and 41 people were incarcerated, and they're saying that there's more to come. I've been noticing the frequency, how frequent they've been doing these operations, bro. It seems like they're on it. They're on it. It seems like if you're gangbanging out on the streets, if you're functioning at any level, you're being watched or being told on. It just is what it is nowadays. There's not even no question about it. What do you think? I know you're in your city. There was gang injunctions and all that, so you kind of know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and they had a thing over here, Operation Gator Roll, a few years back. But anyways, I don't really like to talk about this topic. All I'm going to say is this. I don't know if people understand what technology is able to do. You think you turned your phone off? You didn't. Almost every house now, or at least every third house, has a Ring camera. These cops, anything that's going on, these cops can tap into those things. They can either get it through court or with a cell phone. Like our age, we remember, you had landlines and they had to go and get a search warrant, and they had to go in and sneak in your house and tap the phone. They don't have to do that no more.
No,
they just call your carrier. They get your number from an informant. They once they have your phone number, they contact your carrier, and they get every text, like the pictures, all of that. They can just snatch that. They can easily tap right into your phone through your carrier. Like, I don't know. And there's another thing that people are probably not aware of. There are certain words that the NSA scans for constantly. Certain words that when that word is said, they can automatically go back like 30 seconds, clip that whole recording, and then it gets investigated.
Yeah.
There's people want to be in the If people want to be in the game, understand the rules. Things are very different.
True story, because I was locked up doing time in out of state in what was basically their version of the shoe. And there was one, and I've told this story before. There was one individual there. He was a J-Cat. All he did was work out all day. Refused to take a shower. He's a big white guy. He stunk. I mean, he killed the whole tier. Just smelled like mildew, and no one's gonna say anything because there's respect in prison. But we're all feeling some type of way. Eventually, the cops said, "Hey, you're gonna come out for fucking showers, or we're gonna spray you down in there. Something's gonna happen." He refused to come out for showers. They hosed him down. True story, right? I actually watched them connect hoses and bring him up there. I was tripping. I never seen him before. So at the same time, I'm saying this, that guy would shout things out, talk to himself. And one of the things he kept repeating about a certain president at that time was he started to make threats. Okay. It was about 2 days later, guys in black suits, the men in black came, they snatched his ass up. We ain't never seen him again. That was true story. And I asked one of the sergeants who was kind of cool, I said, what happened to old boy? We used to call him U.S. Army. What happened to U.S. Army down there? He said, them boys came. He was making threats he shouldn't have made. So what I'm saying is that certain things you say, man, they take it serious. If it's a serious threat. Anyway, back to the indictments. A lot of, one well-known figure was in that indictment, a rapper, GB. Okay. And it happened. And, most of these guys are from Merced County, from my city. So I know, and these are younger homies, I would say. I know their fathers, their older brothers, their uncles. Those were my people I used to run around with. So it tripped me out to see these youngsters. And I thought to myself, man, the same thing is happening to them that was happening to us back in the days. This shit never stops and never changes. They're going to keep indicting people. They're going to keep locking people up. People are going to keep on snitching. It just is what it is, man. And someone like GB who I considered one of the better rappers, Chicano rappers, right? I don't want to say Northern California rappers because he was kind of getting away from that a little bit. I think he was more leaning towards just taking care of his family. He talked a lot about his family. He talks about, and I'm sure he'll get some givebacks, but it just seems like when you're trying to change your life or when you're getting right, old shit catches up to you, right? And I think, and a lot of people haven't put out there his charges. I have, his charges were they revoked his felony probation. And that was because of the people he was hanging around with, or even not even that. Maybe his name was mentioned in a conversation, and that's all it takes. It's something that simple. And like I've said, man, I've never had to deal with the federal government like that. But one thing I know for sure, having homeboys that have been to the feds, When they come, they came, right? They get you.
Absolutely.
They get you.
And when the feds come, it's because their case is sealed. It's ready. They're done. They've done their stuff. Now, I will say real quick, when they round people up like that, right? It's like my case when I caught my murder, right? I was at the celebration of a baptism, right? The vast majority of the people that were there, they got into my neighborhood while I was in YA. Like, I never kicked it with them prior to YA. So these were people I never would have said, hey, let's go do a holler together.
Yeah.
That's what you have on this when you get indictments like this.
Yes.
Whoever you are indicted with people you probably would have never broke bread with. You probably would have never had a dangerous conversation with. So don't be surprised when they can't hold up under the pressure. That's what happens. That's why we do the videos that we do. That's why I do the videos that I do, to tell people, Holmes, look, there's no future in it, man. You know, and the feds are not talking about giving you 3 or 4 years when they come knocking.
30 or 40. Put a 0 on it. And here's the thing too. And here's another thing that I touched on in my video, man. If you guys haven't watched it, make sure you go watch it. It's on Gunners Collective TV. Was that upon looking at that indictment, you got to understand, like I said, I know a lot of these guys personally, right? There was guys 1,000,000% that got caught up in that indictment that I know for a fact are dropout gang members, part of the Northern Rider group. 100%. I know who these guys are. I know of them, right? They're from my town. So again, like you said, they throw them in as a group. Now everyone gets individually charged with their own charges, but basically everything that everyone else, all their smut and all their dirtiness, it reflects bad on you because you're part of that operation. So it's just an ugly situation. And again, man, 9 times out of 10, it's not the enemies or the ones that you think are going to tell on you. It's going to be the ones closest to you that are going to give you.
They're the only ones that know your business.
They know your business, man. So, you know, it's a cold game. I truly hope, man. And I know there's no love lost between me and GB, but that's gang shit. That's not personal shit. Personally, I feel he's a talented rapper. He's a youngster. He's brown. I hope he's able to get back and take care of his daughter and his family. And I just truly hope the best for him, right? But on some gang shit, he's finding out what a gang member, what it entails and what it's all about. You know, there's different levels to this shit. And this is just one of those levels that not a lot of people want to talk about. So now here's something else I wanted to ask about. Rico Too Smooth, who's another Northern California rapper, right? And Rowdy Rax from Southern California. Now, I like Rowdy Rax music. I like Rico Too Smooth. I believe that Rowdy Rax is probably one of the better rappers out of Southern California that I've heard in a long time, just like I believe the same thing about Rico Too Smooth. I don't like how he throws the N-word around too much, but that's just the era we're living in, Dubs. I'm sure you could agree. Rowdy Rax got it, but
Rowdy, yeah.
Yeah, Rowdy Rax.
Yeah.
Okay. He was asked, too much N-word, right? He was asked a question on a podcast whether he would, and you know, it's funny that this question gets asked on every single podcast to every Northern California and Southern California raza rapper, and it trips me out. It's a stirring the pot question. It's a question where the answer is never going to fucking change, really. There's always going to be yes or no, but a but, right? Quietly as is kept, if the North and South ever did a compilation and decided to bury that hatchet and do music together, it would blow the fuck up. It'd be the biggest thing popping. Just like we know it would, you know, with the end of hostilities, people are able to function better. They're able to get more incentive. So anyways, he was asked if he would do a rap song with a Northern California rapper, and he said he sees no problem with it. In fact, he enjoys some of their music, but you know, it would have to be cleared by the powers that may be or whatever. That's their business. Respectfully, he's doing the right thing. He's saying the right thing, but he would have no problem with it because he understands that bag would be extensive, that they'd get to that bag. Now, Rico Too, they asked him in particular, Rico Too Smooth. And he said, yeah, he respects his music. He wouldn't mind doing something with him. And I believe that would be a great compilation because they got similar styles. Now, Rico Too Smooth put a post on IG, And in that post, he said, "There's been too much bloodshed spilt between our two groups. I respect you, but it can never happen." What do you think about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. There's been a whole lot of bloodshed between Crips and Bloods. And they're able to realize the bigger picture. So my question to Rico Too Smooth is, are you in your neighborhood every day strapped up, putting in work? Or are you a rapper, homeboy? When people get the lines blurred, Holmes, it doesn't make sense. Respects to Rowdy Rax for saying what he said. And understanding that there's a lot of people that would love to see that happen, you know. Now I have to respect that Rico Too Smooth has an opinion, but I feel it's the wrong one. I feel he's putting himself in a box, and that's fine, because there is somebody up north that's gonna say, "Hey, I'm down." And you know, it's one of those things where it's gonna be like, once one does it, then what? Then Rico Too Smooth will be like, "Fuck it, man. Yeah, I guess we can." Nah, homie, I'm good, eh?
Yeah,
you know,
you had your chance.
Yeah, like, I don't need to make a bag with you, homie. I respect your homeboy. You know what I mean? We're cool, but to say there's too much bloodshed between these groups, I don't think anybody from Rowdy Rack's neighborhood has ever done anything to Rico Too Smooth's homeboys, wherever he's from, and vice versa. So absolutely, this thing you're talking about is something that's just, I don't know, man. It just, to me, like, pick a lane, eh? Either you're a rapper or you're banging. And if you're banging, then get your money. But let's not blur the lines, because everybody from the outside looking in knows you guys are rappers, Holmes. You're rappers. You're talking about things maybe you did in your past, or you're talking about things that your homeboys are doing. But you're in the studio. And I'm glad you're in the studio. But let's not blur the lines, man. Come on.
Yeah. To me, rappers are just bona fide glorifiers. They just glorify the life. Here's my thing. When them lines start to become blurred, then you start to get indicted like GB, right?
Exactly.
So you don't really want to blur those lines, because there's only one way to go. So my thing with that, go ahead, Dubs.
No, I was going to say it real quick because it popped in my head. To me, Nipsey Hussle, for him, he did a song with YG. Like, he's done songs with other Bloods. Like, that right there is they understand, like, all that. And believe me, there is a lot of bloodshed, and it ain't just in prison with them, that group, those two groups.
Streets.
There was decades on the streets where 1,000 were killed in a year in the 80s, 1,000, 2,000, whatever it was, 800, back and forth, both sides, Holmes. And I can tell you right now that I believe more people were murdered in the Crip and Blood War than North and South, because the North and South is mainly in prison. You don't have 1,000 dudes getting smoked in a year. So how do you even try to act like things can't be worked out when you have two groups that were killing thousands of their own kind based on color, and they're making millions together? No fucking sense.
It's just pushing propaganda. It's what people are being told without actually knowing the facts. Hey, I even said in my video the other day, the Crips were a killing machine back in the 80s, 90s. So were the Bloods, killing machines. I mean, they was on site. If you had a red sock on, you can get shot. They were.
Really, and we remember banging on wax.
They were really doing that. Yeah. So
go ahead.
With Rico Too Smooth, I believe I understand the justification why he's saying that's the way he's laced up. That's what was fed to him. That's how he's educated within the gang life. But also, you have to be yourself. And when he says there's too much bloodshed, how much of that bloodshed have you participated in yourself? You know, you can't hear about certain things and think about certain things without having lived it yourself. So to know what it really feels like. Anyways, with that being said, I wanted to touch on one other thing that we mentioned in part one, and you know more about it than I do. And I kind of just wanted to pick your brain on it, because we've had conversations about it, but I never really tripped out on it. 1090 Jake. 1090 Jake has been known for exposing people. That's pretty much, he went from the prison genre, like what we do, telling our old stories, and I think he ran out of material content, which we all will someday. It's just part of life, you know. That's why we try to do things like this. But you can only tell so many stories so many different ways. But anyways, and he kind of switched over to like exposing rappers and people about that life. And something happened the other day. What was it, Dubs? I kind of put.
So I can't. I wish. Okay, so Point and Shoot, of course. Point and Shoot did a thing on him, but there was a black dude. I don't remember. I wish I wasn't prepared. I would have looked it up. I wish I would have looked back to see what his channel was. But he did a video, and in his video he was talking about 1090 Jake, and he did say what Gunner was saying. So initially he came out and he fell into the prison genre, and what this guy was saying is every YouTube channel that's been around for a while, they're going to morph. They're gonna try different things because you can't do the same thing all the time. You just can't. It gets stagnant, right? So after he had the fight, he went into doing some of like the criminal stuff. Like if there was a shooting in a certain city, he would find out, boom, and he blew up. He got successful. And then he did this thing where he got into this niche that was basically him, and he locked it down, was rappers that cooperated, right? And this guy was talking about how he got successful with that, right? He blew up. He was making a grip of money. But the box that he put himself in by doing that, there's only so many rappers. There's only so many rappers that cooperated. And what he was doing is he was doing FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act. And not every one of those gets approved. So if you only have a certain amount of rappers that cooperated, and then you're asking for them papers and they deny you, your circle of your material is very limited.
Yeah.
And so what Jake did, 1090 Jake, what he did was he put out a story on a guy who's never been a gang member, who Florida fishing or something like that, right? The guy is out there fishing in Florida. His channel is all about fishing, being a positive member of his society and his community. And 1090 Jake did a video on him calling him a snitch because he had got shot at 4 times and a bullet grazed him. But that dude was a civilian. He never lived under gangster rules. So whatever statement he made it as a civilian. That's for each individual to decide how they feel about that. But it wasn't for 1090 Jake. Bottom line is this: if you go into the comments when he did that video, they ate him up. The people of Florida,
1090 Jake,
they ate him up. Yeah, they ate that dude up because they were like, "How you gonna hold?" And in the video, he says he snitched, but then he turned around towards the end of the video and says, well, he never lived by that life, but you already did the video. And so the video that I saw said that he might have to overhaul his channel again. And next thing you know, he comes out with the G-Face one. So I mean, he's gonna keep morphing his channel, but
he's reaching, you know. And I think as a content creator, we both know this. Sometimes we try different things. We do it constantly. We're constantly trying new things, trying to entertain the people. But at the same time, we're always going to stick to our core. There's always going to be those old school prison stories, stories of our life, because that's what got us to where we're at, the position that we're at as content creators. I believe if he mixed it up a little bit, did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, he'd be better off. Because once you start reaching and you start making mistakes, and believe me, I know from in real life, once you start making mistakes, man, and you're moving too fast and you're not doing your homework, it's gonna have a bad reflection on what you got going on. Anyways, with that being said, man, anything else to say, Dubs? I appreciate the time.
That's it. Thank you, guys.
We're looking at going live. People have been asking Dubs. Last night I was pre-gaming with Tortas. I might even post-game tonight. But I was pre-gaming.
I might post it.
I might post-game. Right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, we won. No, I won.
Hey,
I can tell you guys the story. It was wild. Here, just take my old lady. I was like, I already did. It was crazy. Anyways, so with that being said, we'll be going live, man. Tune in. We're pre-gaming for, of course, the UFC fights tonight. Poirier and I think he's fighting
Islam.
Yeah. Makhachev. So that's gonna be a good fight. I want to see Strickland. Strickland's a wild ass white guy right there fighting Paulo Costa. It's gonna be a good co-main event. So, anyways, with that being said, I hope that you move with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive to struggle, the struggle to strive. We're going to continue to drop these weekly. Make sure you guys tune in. Go to the Dubs channel, show some support. The Dubs channel, Gunners Collective TV, and you already know what it is, man. We're right here. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.